I will go to my grave being yelled at by people for saying that this tank was okay and that the Drac was the OP one. The Drac's OP. It's nowhere near as OP as this.
Ladies and gentlemen, g'day, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the second video in this Halloween event series that I'm currently doing, I don't know why. Again, I want to give props to WOT for like literally jumping on the bandwagon when this event came out, talking about getting free tanks. Yeah, you're the real MVP, bro. Literally beat me to it. If I hadn't had things on, I would have made these videos before and I had them ready to go, ready to be prepared. I just didn't had footage ready for it, and I just got busy with work, so I missed out. It is what it is. I can't really do much, but kudos to you, mate, for jumping on the board and getting it done. You got some pretty decent views on there, so good on you, mate. Thank you for spreading awareness about this event and like encouraging people to go and do it, right? Encourage people to do these events, right? That's the idea. Like, you know, you don't very often get events that are like actually completely free, and when they are completely free, yes, they're supposed to be a challenge. That's the idea. People need to understand, yes, it is challenging to do 300,000 damage in regular battles, right? Within 6 days. It's a challenge. Trust me, I know it's a challenge. But anyway, in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to win the Dracula for free. Oh yeah, the Drac is also out, ladies and gentlemen. A tank that you don't see very often in Tier 7 anymore is out and about. It means you can actually win yourself a free Dracula. It's exciting. I would say the Helsing is probably the better option, but I mean, if you get the Drac instead of the Helsing, you're not really going to be complaining, are you? So yeah, same premise as the Helsing video that I made. 300,000 damage in under 6 days, right? And you don't have any, as far as I can tell, there are no fun game modes, because Wargaming are not stupid. They know not to do that, because people will take advantage of those game modes, and they will absolutely just deal a stupid amount of damage per game, and just easily get there, right? Now, let's say you do like 10,000 damage per game. In 30 games, you'd be done. That's it. So obviously Wargaming are not that stupid. They're not going to make it that easy for you to get the damage. Come on. Right, so yeah, I mean, Wargaming is not that dumb, right? Because you'd be like, it's insane, right? So yeah, you can, I mean, anyway, look, all I'm going to say is, if you really, really want the Dracula, go ahead. Go ahead. Go for gold. Try your best to do 300,000 damage in less than 6 days, right? Get yourself a free Drac. I can't guarantee you can get yourself a free Drac, though. I want to make that absolutely clear. It's a certificate. I'm not going to say it's a 1 out of 4 chance, because I'm pretty sure Wargaming has done it in a way where the Drac and the Helsing have a much lower chance of coming out of the certificate than the Pharaoh and the Lycan. So, yeah, do with that information as you will. But yes, technically speaking, in inverted commas, you can get the Dracula for free. Now, talking about the Drac, it's a whole different topic. So, talking about the Drac. Boy oh boy, did this tank bring out a lot of drama when it first came out. Like, honest to God, I've never seen a tank dish out so much drama before than this one. Well, apart from the M60, but that's a whole different scenario. We're not going to talk about that now. Let's not talk about that. Right, so, Dracula. If you know what you are doing, and you're doing it properly on the battlefield, be prepared for atrocious accuracy and no better pen to compensate, while also keeping in mind that it's been power cranked. I want to make that absolutely clear. The gun is good, but it's not amazing, right? And I said it before, the Helsing is much better. in my opinion. It's always been the better tank. It's always been the stronger tank. It's always been the tank that has really played all the roles of a tank. It's not just a tank destroyer. It's a heavy tank. It's a medium tank. It's basically anything that you want it to be, right? Whereas the Drac has solely been a light medium tank, right? But the thing with the Dracula is, if you want to run around and get derped by smashes and annihilators, miss easy shots, have to switch to premium ammo to pen most tier 8s, and get overpowered by most other tier 7 mediums every game or two, then the Dracula is yours. It's not as good as it used to be. It's not as good as it used to be. That's the thing, that's the point I'm trying to make. It's still fun to play. It's still extremely fast. That's one of the things. The Dracula was one of the fastest tanks in the game in terms of acceleration. I want to make that absolutely clear. The RU-251 is still the fastest tank in the game at over 80 kilometers an hour. The Dracula goes 65 kilometers an hour, I believe, but it gets there very, very, very quickly. So it's got the best acceleration in the game alongside the LTTB, right? But again, the Helsing, if you want to keep up with mediums, if you want to bounce shots, if you want to deplete enemy HP with your DPM, have good penetration, have good alpha, you go for the Helsing. The Helsing is the one to go for, in my opinion. However, I will say this, even to this day, the Dracula is way overrated. Right? Way overrated. As I was saying, the only thing it has going for it is that it looks cool and it's got mobility and nothing else. That's it. And this is coming from someone whose favorite tier 7 tank is the LTTB, right? I love that tank to death, but the LTTB is just a tank that's just way better than the Drac. It's got just as much mobility, it's got better armor, it's got better DPM, it's got better penetration on its long-ass gun, and on top of that, it's got better camo consumption because it's a light tank, whereas the Drac is a medium tank. But again, people seem to think the Dracula is the most crazy OP tank, and it never was. It was a little bit OP, but it never was anything more than that. The Helsing has always been the crazy T7 tank destroyer, medium tank, heavy tank sort of thing that just played a role of different tank types and was just crazy OP until the Smasher and the Annihilator came, and that's a whole different story altogether. But I mean, I understand the LTTB got nerfed quite a bit, but it's not competitive anymore, right? The Drac just holds a good reputation with everyone because they think it's this crazy OP tank, but it never was. But yeah, I don't know. Look, I think it's how you play the Drac. You can execute big brain plays if you really wanted to. You can face rush, in a sense, but you will get killed, and I guess be called a noob. That's how it is. So you need to know what you're doing essentially and when to do it. And the Dracula really does make it happen. And don't forget, the Drac is one of those tanks where, because it's got such good acceleration, you can get to spots on maps that you never would have been able to get in any other tank, right? Like spots off the map grid, right? Climbing and whatnot. You can do it in the Drac pretty easily. So, you know. But I think at one point, the Dracula had like the second highest average win rate a few years ago, which was crazy. It technically was literally one of the best performing vehicles in the game since it was launched, which was insane. You don't need armor if you can utilize mobility and the terrain to avoid getting shot, essentially. It's going to boil down to map knowledge and awareness. And again, I was talking about that before in my previous videos, where map awareness, tank knowledge, that kind of stuff is very, very important, right? And I would say, though, yes, that was true at one point, but don't forget, not every single person had a Dracula. A lot of the people, like a lot of the pro player bases, had Draculas. And that's the reason why the win rate was so freaking high, because they were abusing the shit out of it. So not everyone has a Drac. I'll make that absolutely clear. That's probably why the win rate was so high a few years ago, right? But yeah, I don't know. It's a very hit and miss tank. However, I don't know. Look, it's a free tank at the end of the day. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, I mean, it's completely up to you. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Hope you enjoyed the video. Onwards and upwards. Look after yourselves and stay safe on the battlefield. Bye for now.
Yeah, so that's about it for today's video. If you liked it, maybe please consider giving us the thumbs up down below. And if you really like these videos, why not subscribe? You'll get a notice every time we put one up, and that way you don't miss out. All right, folks, we'll catch you next time. See you later.